back to another book haul video. Yeah, I know I didn't do a review. I've kind of been staggering book haul review, but I don't have a book finished right now to review. I'm going a little slow on Limbo, listening to the Grim Company, but that's usually only when I'm commuting, so hopefully I'll have another book review ready to go soon. I think I'll get a couple other ideas of things to do in the meantime. That being said, got a really cool book haul for you. The first few I'm going to go through real quick are a couple online buys I did, and then I'll get to the meat of it, which I'll probably have something interesting about it in the title. But before we get there, Magic Planar Chaos. I had book 3 in this. I used to love playing Magic. I haven't played in a while, but I picked that book up for it. Picked this up really due to the cover. I just think it's awesome. It's Roller Coaster World by Kenneth Bulmer. Really cool cover. And you see in the plastic, I plan to put it on my shelf. The Best of Walter M. Miller Jr. I got this in a Whatnot. I'm trying to remember who it was from. I didn't realize I already had this in hardcover. So I've been collecting all the best ofs, even though I'm not a huge short story fan. But I guess I'll keep it. I don't know. I like the cover. I think it's cool. It's not it's one of the harder to find best ofs, I think. But I do have the hardcover already, so anyway, Eyes of the Overworld. My first review on this channel was this book. Well, not this book, but the omnibus of the 4. But I already have a copy of this. I'm not sure if this one's nicer than mine. We'll see. And there might be another one under these in here. This Jack Vance. Oh yeah, because that was book 1 of a 5 Jack Vance lot I got on eBay. I think I paid $15 for the lot, which the Eyes of the Overworld is worth it right there. So these are all extra. The 5 Gold Bands by Vance Dahl. Is this $3.74? So it's not one of the reprints. So if you're a doll collector, it's pretty cool. I think I have this in the older Ace version or the double or something like that. So I don't know if I'll keep that one. Another Vance, The Grey Prince. This is a more modern release, a tour. I have this as well in a different printing, so probably won't be keeping that one. Showboat World. Pyramid with the pretty teal blue text block. I love that. I do already have this in doll, so again, I'm probably not keeping any of these Vances. Sad to say. Just when you see $15 lot of Vances and one of them is one of the Dying Earth books, you just kind of grab it, right? So this stand's being weird. All right. And The Narrow Land, the last of the 5 Vances from this eBay haul. This is doll number 490. I do already have a copy of this, and I think mine's a little nicer, so that'll be for sale. So, getting to the... Oh, one more. 2 more. 3 more, actually. 2 more locations. So this is a book I missed from the last haul, or, yeah, was that one of the half-price books haul? Yes. And it had slid underneath the backseat of my truck and it stayed there for a few days. I was like, I thought I bought a Tarzan book. But this is all 4 of the Tarzan novels by Burroughs and a cool omnibus. Pretty sure this is a book. I think it's a book club edition. But it's $4. So $4 from half price sold. That's something cool like that. I don't know if I'm going to keep it yet. I don't know if Tarzan interests me that much, so we'll see. But the book is just cool, so. Forgotten Realms, Pool of Radiance. No, actually, this came from, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's from the next place. So, I'm ready to talk about that now, since I showed the book. So, I'm all over the place. I already even filmed this once, so I'm redoing it, so I'm not as firing on the right cylinders, I guess. But, a couple months ago on Facebook, I saw an ad in the marketplace. Oh, we have tons of books. Get a whole bunch of books for cheap. And so I messaged that person and they never responded, or they didn't respond then. And then a couple months later, I guess it was a week and a half, 2 weeks ago now, this person messaged me back and she was like, oh, hey, this isn't my stuff. My uncle has a bookstore and it's in such and such town. And just go these 3 days a week. He's there between like 11 and 4. And if you go there, you can, buy. That's where you can buy him. I was like, okay, great. Thank you for following up. So I went and looked this bookstore up. It's in a small town, east of Houston. It's probably about a 50-minute drive from my house. I live on the north side, north of Houston, so it's not that bad. I mean, I drive more than that to work. So on the way home from work one day, I was like, on the way home, I'll just stop by there and then go home. It's really not going to add much to my commute since I already have a long commute. And boy, was I in for a treat. So a few things. It's a tiny old building, hole in the wall, so you kind of love to see that. You walk in and books are just everywhere, right? So you're like, okay, we're going to find some good stuff in here probably. The problem was it was like 98 degrees. It's August in Texas, and this place does not have AC. And the lighting in there isn't very strong. So I struggled kind of seeing some of the books, especially on the bottom row. It's packed. It's organized on the shelves by author at least. But when I think they did that once, and then extra books have just gotten stacked in front of the shelves everywhere. So it's like, and I have pretty big feet too, and I'm just struggling not kicking stacks of books over and all that. And then I'm just sweating, sweating. And it gets so hot and no airflow hardly. But they're awesome books and good deals to have. So I ended up getting 70 something books. This may be a little bit of a long book haul showing due to the sheer numbers. And it's $1 a book, up to $20, and after that it's a quarter a book. So depending on how many you get, you're basically getting books for under $1 for sure. I think it all ended up being around 70 something cents a book, or 67 cents a book for me, or something like that. It would have been cheaper. When he showed you what all I got, he was like $42 or $42.50 or 40, somewhere around there. And I was like, hey, I gave him 3 20s, so just give me 10 back. $50 is. I still felt like I was kind of stealing, taking from a little bit for 50. So, and then he even threw a few extras on there because I did that. So I'll talk about those when they pop up. But yeah, blab. Let's see the book covers, right? So let's get to it. You saw the Pool of Radiance. Usually a lot of these stores have a bunch of old D&D. He had about 10 to 12. I try to pick them up. I only collect a select few, but this one was in nice shape. So anything nice shape D&D under $1, I'm just going to grab. And especially one of the original Chronicles trilogy. This isn't one of the original printings. It's a reprint, but again, these are more in demand. It's not perfect, but for, I'm probably going to say that a lot, but for less than $1, right? So I apologize in advance. They did have a pretty good selection of Bob Shaws. Oh, and by the way, this guy was super nice, super helpful. He's coming up to me, talking to me, and he's a science fiction reader as well. So he's like read some of them, was giving some cool, So that was pretty cool. 1 Million Tomorrows by Bob Shaw. I've read The Other Days, Other Eyes by him. I really like that. I should need to read some more Shaw, but I love these Ace science fiction specials as well. Very cool. These I didn't realize I got both, but sure, I probably want both anyway. I got 2 Gorman Gas copies. One of these is the first printing. So these Ballantine Adult Fantasies, and I think it's this one, the 95 center. It doesn't even say, this is even before the Ballantine Adult Fantasies, I believe. It says a Ballantine book. And then this later reprint is a Ballantine Fantasy. Same art and everything. This is later. That's the first print, so I don't know. That might be a little valuable. And then Titus Grown. Right? Grown, yeah. I have a couple Titus alone, so I have a couple extra trilogies of this I probably need to sell. I haven't read them. I've heard they're very dense to read, very wordy, and kind of poetic. So, we'll see. Orbitsville Departure. This is a 80s. Is that Tor? No, it's Bane. It's a banger. I guess Bob Shaw Banes, you can count them as bangers. It's kind of a whatnot book people joke. We call them bangers. The Dispossessed by Le Guin. I have a copy of these already. Pretty red text. This is an Avon. I've sold a few of these actually recently in my whatnot shows. Then we have a left hand in this Ace printing. The ice heads or whatever you want to call it. I haven't read this, so I don't know what it's referring to. And then the older cover, it's a little beat, but for under $1, right? You pick up old, beat up Left Hands of Darkness in this Ace printing. This is a third printing, I think. So it's not a first, but a little earlier than the last Left Hand. I just sold a set of these on eBay, but it's the The Knight and the Knave of Swords by Liber, one of the last Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser series. There's like the original 6, and then this one was like written in the 80s and released maybe 20 something years, 25 years after the original 6 were serialized and then printed. I believe most of the original 6 were serialized. But this is that book 7. I just sold a copy of those, all 7, for like $75 on eBay. So people want them. They're in demand. Very collectible. Frank Herbert, The Green Brain. He had a lot of Herberts. I like Dune. I don't know if I want to really... I'm not that interested in reading a lot of the other Herberts. But this was a nice shape. And I like the art. And then D.F. Jones' Colossus. I've had a book club edition of this that was kind of a beat up dust jacket. So I saw this there, picked it up. These are worth some little money, like, you know, $12, $15. So even if I didn't want to keep it, it was a no-brainer to pick it up. Back to another Shaw, The Fugitive Worlds. This is another 80s, maybe early 90s banger. These arts on these aren't so bad. Some people don't like the Bane art. One of my favorite series of all time, Knife of Dreams by Robert Jordan. The last, you know, the double digit, maybe not 10, but I think 11 through 14 or whatever, 58, 14. The paperbacks are actually harder to find than the hardcovers. So if you try to collect to sell a matching paperback set, getting the last few is kind of difficult. So I picked that one up, and it's got it somewhere, but it wasn't too bad. You know, I've had even my own old personal Robert Jordan book, just the glue and the binding just fall apart on me. So theirs is so mass printed and so huge that some of those glue bindings couldn't handle its own weight. Another Le Guin, Rocannon's World. Pretty cool art. This is an ace. The flying Pegasus Chimera Griffin thing. Guess it's a griffin. Sterling and Gibson Difference Engine. This is the only Gibson. He had a couple others, but they were like trashed. So that's the other thing. I tried to grab only nice condition books. I'm getting much more picky on condition these days. I'm not picking up beat up books. His are a mix. He had some trash books. He had some nice books. Most of the books you're going to see here are nice. Since it was dark where I was picking some of them, I think I grabbed a couple that I probably regretted or wouldn't have grabbed just condition wise. But even then, it was less than $1, so it's not like I'm really missing anything. I could at least sell it again for $1 on a Whatnot show and about break even, right? So The Heaven Makers by Herbert. This was such a nice condition book, except it's got this crease on the back. I don't even notice that. I think I just saw how pretty the spine was. It's got one like vein, and just went yoink, put it on my stack. So even with that crease, I probably still would have kept it. But oh yeah, these are cool, and they're kind of less common. This Bantam Nova, these Bantam Delaney's. I got a Triton as well in here that looks like this. And I think they hold a little more value than the earlier Aces do that you see more often. It's really pretty. I just, yeah, you don't see them much. Now I got to decide which ones I want to keep. Didn't realize these are both the same book. I thought they were just two different Amazings, but I got double copies of The Day of the Mayfly. One's in nicer shape than the other. They got a little value, a little bit collectible on those. This one's keep for me, Rick Farron Protectorate. I've been collecting Rick Farron and kind of cyberpunk. I haven't read him yet. This one definitely is giving me Geiger alien creature vibes, right? And this is a Farron book that holds a little more value, so maybe it's the cover that probably helps that. Balance it back to a Delaney. I got The Fall of the Towers. Oh, these all have little stickers on them. Usually I pride myself on my sticker removal, but uh-oh, shame. I think I had a couple in here I did shame on. I use the heat gun and everything. Just some of these that no matter what, I was just real gentle and they just came off. So even with the heat gun, which I would say normally it's 1 or 2 out of 100 stickers on books, sorry, that I don't get off to my satisfaction, and I had 3 in this. So maybe I was too hasty. I don't know, but I was a little disappointed in myself. He had some limbs. Grabbed this. This was one I didn't have. This is the sequel, but it's Memoirs of a Space Traveler in this HBJ print. I have the first one of this, or this is the Further Reminiscences of Reminiscences of Ijon Taiki or Tiki or however you pronounce it. IJONTICHY. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm also feel like I'm pretty good at pronunciation, but that's out of my league there. A Merit. The 7 Footprints to Satan. It says the steps to Satan on the back, so it tripped me up. Or steps to Satan's slaves. Cool art. Older book. The guy, the owner actually knew something about this. He's like, yeah, I think there's this band, and they like really like that, and they referenced that book or something in there. I was like, oh, cool, I didn't know that. So a little different, not science fiction, but it's Larry McMurtry, Boone's Lick. I enjoy Western shows and movies, some great ones, of course. I have not really read any Western books. I probably will like them since I enjoy the movies. And I've heard just nonstop how good Lonesome Dove is. So we'll actually see. So when I was looking for, it's like, I wonder if he's got a copy of Lonesome Dove. It actually fetched a little value, and I've been trying to find one. I haven't looked that hard. Usually I have to remember to go into the Western section, right? So here's an old paperback copy. These nicer shape. It'd probably be worth 15-20 bucks. This one's a little beat up. It's a little more beat up than I even thought it was when I grabbed it from the store, but he had 2. This is better than the other one. I still don't regret it. It's definitely worth it, but I want to read that. That's a chonker though. I got a couple hardcovers here I'll pull out so they make better book stacking bases. Again, no-brainer pickup. A book club edition of Childhood's End in pretty decent shape for a book club edition. The fold is a little off, as you can tell. It should be, but that could probably be fixed. And it's just got a couple little tears here on the bottom. Hopefully you can see that. Love that book. Read it in high school. One of my favorite high school reads. This one is cool. It's a Fantasia Press Lava Light World, and just amazing art. It is an ex-library, unfortunately, and I've started to try to... It just won't come off. For some reason, library stickers are the stickiest stickers of ever. So, very pretty. Usually my rule is I don't pick up anything ex-library. I don't like them. It drives me nuts. But a Fantasia Press, that's not a book club, so I was like, okay, I'll get it. Sorry, this is the other Gibson I got. All Tomorrow's Parties. Again, even the hardcovers are the same price as the paperback, so I paid 60, 70 cents or whatever all said for this. I already had a copy. I think mine might be a little nicer. This one's not bad at all, but I think mine's kind of minty. Another Lim. This is Solaris. By far Lim's most well-known work. I have not read Lim yet, but I've heard such great things. It's not perfect, but you don't pass up a Solaris for $1. This has a little value, and it's pretty cool. Annihilation Factor by Barrington J. Bailey. Apparently there's a hardcover of this as well that looks exactly the same, just, in hardcover. UK copy. The, what do they call it? Allison and Busby. And one of the guys on the Discord says he loves the Allison and Busby printings. So this is what Get Nice gets you. An extra Tough Voyaging. I actually didn't have this, so it's not an extra. He's like, oh, I think I have a couple books stacked back here behind the front desk. And so he's grabbing a couple. And I didn't take them all because, I just wanted stuff I wanted. And I was like, yeah, I'll take that, Martin. And it was, I think, one other book I grabbed. So since, he was like, oh, yeah, just toss it on. So that was cool. Very, very nice. The only Silverberg I picked up, the second trip, I think it's the only one. He had some Silverbergs. They're mostly the Magipore ones, and they're mostly creased to hell. So the back's not interesting. I have this already, and I think a cooler or older cover maybe. So that's going to be for sale. I was excited to pick this one up. I haven't decided. I think I have a hardcover of this. This is why maybe I didn't put this in bag originally. But it's The Voyage of the Space Beagle by A.E. Van Vogt. This is the Timescape. More sought after. It's like I think a $15 book, so it's not that big of a deal. But I think I have a hardcover of this. But this, of course, the inspiration to Alien. That's what it's best well known for, and probably why it has some value. This is a keeper for me. The Infinity Box by Wilhelm, a UK copy, in very nice shape. So is it a Wilhelm I didn't have? That's going to my shelves. Another Wilhelm I didn't have is Sense of Shadow. Timescape. Unfortunately, it's pretty nice except for this crease on the back. It does have a slight lean as well. You probably can't see that. But again, not bad. Oh, the last of the 3 McMurtry's I got. It says Anything for Billy. Looks like to match the look of the Boone's Lick or whatever. Maybe I'll get it around eventually reading those, but we'll see. A copy of Earth Abides. This is a more modern copy. I've had those blue cover copies, and then I actually have a hardcover, a book edition that's on my shelf. But those have gone up some recently, I think because of the movie or the show or whatever. C.L. Moore, Northwest Smith. I have this exact book already, so this is a copy I'm just going to sell. Grimm's World by Werner Vinge. Cool cover. I've had this before and sold it. Thought about keeping him, but I'll probably sell this one too. Oh yeah, I have this in hardcover. So here's Up the Walls of the World by Tiptree. Got a little crease there in the back. The hardcover and the trade all look exactly like this. The cover. So I already have it, so it's for sale. This was worth a lot more. This is the Dream Master by Zelazny. This is probably the coolest cover, the more cyberpunk looking cover. They were going for like 30 or 40 now. I think they're down to like 10 to 15, 12 to 15 area. So, but still, gotta grab it. I already have it. Oh, shame number 2. Bring the Jubilee, which is such a shame because look at the pretty red text block. The rest of the book is so nice, but you got that little sticker tear. A little bit valuable book. I've heard really good reviews on this. I know Ira and SF Words of Wonder just read this and really enjoyed it. I have a copy of that version already, but I also got this cool, what is this, a Bart book. I don't have a Bart book. This is my first one. This is actually a little more valuable than the last one, maybe just because it's harder to find. But definitely good finds. Oh, another limb, The Investigation. This one's got a bit of a lean. I almost would have left it, but you don't leave limbs for under $1 that are at least decent shape. Happy about that one. So these all got mixed up. Oh, I'm sorry. I have another limb. The Futurological Congress. I have this already. Nice shape on this one. I'll be selling it. Another Liber, Swords and Deviltry. This is the first book of the Fafford and Great Master. And this, the more modern Ace version. Here's a modern fantasy. The Lies of Locke Lamora. Really nice shape for a book this size. Usually these, I've seen these before and they're usually creased to hell. I've read that. I really enjoyed it. He's one of the 3 big, will they ever finish their series authors? You know, him, Martin, and Rothfuss. So the first book is amazing, I think. Really good. This follow-up books are still great. Not quite as good as the first, and I think that's a fairly common thought on the internet, but I'd like to finish the series if Mr. Lynch would finish them. I'm sure no one ever asked him to finish his books, though. I'm sure he never hears that. Ballantine Adult Fantasy, Fletcher Pratt, The Land of Unreason. This is one of the more common ones I've seen and found. I've had a couple of these. It's got a little wear, but I don't pass up a bath that's in at least somewhat decent shape. Whoa, and the box almost fell because I took all the weight off one side. Another Tiptree, but this is an Tor Double. The Color of Neanderthal Eyes on one side. Michael Bishop, and this is a pain. And Strange at Ecbaton the Trees. Whatever that, I don't know, Michael Bishop, what are you getting at? So I'm not going to keep this, even though it's a Tiptree I don't have, because I don't like doubles. I don't know where to put them on the shelf. I hate putting them and then how am I finding the Bishop one in my list? Yeah, I know it's a weird thing to complain about, but Glenn Cook, one of my favorites, The Sword Bearer. I have not read the standalone. I've only read his Black Company and his Instrumentalities of the Night. Would plan to and love to read all of the Glenn Cook's cookbook. The Best of Jack Williamson. I think I already have this. I've been collecting these. But they fetch a little value. They are collectible. So I always pick those up when I find them. Regardless if I have them or not when it's cheap. Ah, yes. Some of the Evangeline Walton. Some other Baths. The Island of the Mighty. Love the art. It's a 4-book series. A quadrilogy or a whatever. There's another word for it. Pretty cool. Love them. Have them already. I don't think these are nicer than mine. The Song of Rhiannon. Again, just love the art. That can be seen. My hand's all in an awkward position. Oh, my Deja Vu. Another Eyes of the Overworld. Again, love it. I pick them up for... It'll be a resale. This one's not as nice as mine. Another Bob Shaw. This is a UK. Ground Zero Man. This is a... Who is this? A Corgi. I just read that too. So, not one I had, and I would have picked up the UK version anyway. Trippy cover. Love it. Oh, and one of the other Waltons is... Or is it a Mabinogian series? Children of Lear. Same lovely art. The Darkness on Diamondia. This is a Sedgwick and Jackson, UK. Kind of looks like New English Library, the symbol, sort of, at first. But maybe not. I don't know. I like the cover on this, but I also like that old US cover as well in that book. More in the Jack Vance and the Dying Earth. This is Rialto the Marvelous. I always find these creased up. Here's another creased up one. Mine's creased up. I think mine's a little nicer. I'll keep that, but there's an extra one here. And then a Kugels. He had a couple Rialtos and I think a couple Kugels. I didn't take both. Next time if I go back and they're still there, I'll grab them. Just because I know I'll sell them. Little tape. I don't think that was me. I think that happened to someone else. I can't blame myself on that one, I don't think. This one is one of the ones I shouldn't have picked up, probably. I think it was dark and Brunos were at the bottom, and I think I meant to grab the book next to it and pulled this, and somehow didn't notice that. But it's Interstellar Empire. Again, it's not like I'm out a lot of money or anything. It's just, I'm not, it's all beat up. I like nice books. Another Deja Vu book from last haul video. Another one of these Coney's Charisma. Same. I think the other one I have slightly nicer. This one has a crease. Cool green text block. I've heard really good things about Coney. I haven't read him yet. A lot of the Whatnot crew, the Whatnot science fiction book crew, have read him and say he's great. And it's also another phenomena I see myself having is where I'll want a book or not have a book or not see it for a while. I'll get one copy and then suddenly find like 2 or 3 more. And it's happened. It's not just like a 1 or 2. It happens a lot, it seems. But luckily for me, since I sell books as well, I don't have to burdened with not grabbing another one. I buy it and then I keep the nicer one and I sell it. So, works out. I've had this a few times. Shadow of Heaven by Shaw with the apple eyeball. Pretty cool. Avon, I believe. Yeah. Tomorrow Lies in an Ambush by Shaw. Ace. This one's a little rougher. It's got the remainder punch taken out of the cover. I've seen that some. It's really annoying. I'd rather they just do the marker, but at least that's better than clipping the corner. Oh yeah, here's the Triton I talked about earlier. Very cool. Very cool look. I don't know. These are going to be tough to get rid of those. I'm going to have to make some tough choices because I do have... This is that version I have. And I also like this. This is nice. It's not as trippy as the other one. And they all match these are Bantam as well. These Bantam Delaney's. Blish Night Shapes again. Blish, Brunner. They're near each other. Kind of dark. It's not that bad, but it's one I haven't seen much. Very pretty. And just got a few more books left. Frederick Brown, Rogue in Space. The back, I didn't notice that. It's a little, you know, crease there. I've read one brown. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of a, what was that one? I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to do like my rankings of my science fiction books I've read in the last few years. Rick Rack has requested it. I didn't want to do it right away. I was thinking about it, and then Book Pill just did his video of doing kind of like that, and I was like, man, I don't sound like I'm copying him right off the bat like that or something, but whatever. It was a request. It's in my comments, damn it. I have proof. Butler, Imago, or was it in my comments, or did Rick Rack text me that? I can't remember. On Discord. I really need to read Butler. I've heard such good things. I have this book already, but it's worth a little money, so I grabbed it. And then probably the two most valuable books out of here, maybe. In the end, this was all great pickups, right? Nothing was like a $100 book or anything, so super high, but everything was at least like a desirable book on Whatnot or eBay, I think. And when you can go in, usually this feels like one of my big estate sale hauls. Maybe it doesn't have as high of a high, but the lows are higher. So these are all kind of like solid sellable or keepable books, collectible books with a few, you know, a couple damaged ones that I know someone's going to want in a show. Whereas an estate sale, I'll go and I'll get, you know, if I have to buy them all or pick up buying someone's collection or an eBay lot or something that's got a few good books, then you go like, okay, what am I going to do with these beat up or non-desirable books? So the great thing about going to this bookstore is I can be real choosy and pick and still get a great deal. So I definitely have to go back. There's stacks I didn't even look at. I was too hot and sweaty. I had so many books already at the time. I even had a horror section that was much more picked over. So I think a horror fan came in there. He must have had some great stuff because there's probably some valuable, like some of those old Dean Koontz from the 70s that I know have money because I have some of them. But the spines were all... So I think people just came and took the nicer ones. They still might be worth picking up even in that condition, but we'll see. But anyway, the last two books, I have a UK copy of The Inverted World by Christopher Priest. It is not in the best shape, but a UK Christopher Priest Inverted World is definitely worth some money. Collectible book. I'm sure this will sell easily. I have a hardcover of that, and I think maybe a SF Masterworks, so I don't need this copy. If this was nice, I probably would keep it. But I am keeping this one. This is a New English Library UK Indoctrinaire that actually holds both these books have a little value to them. Okay, that's just, I need to fix that. But anyway, I think this would be like a 30, 40, 50 book in nicer shape. I don't know what it's like in this, and I think this is also like a $40 book or something. So, boom. Right there, I just paid for my entire book haul, and then I got all these extras, right? So, love all the comments. The book hauls get a lot of views. The reviews don't. I don't care. I'm going to do them anyway because they're fun, and it kind of memorializes my thoughts on some of these books. So, appreciate the comments, appreciate the views and the hours watched. I'm not in this to be a professional YouTuber, but since you're spending the time doing it, it's nice to know some people actually watching you, right? But appreciate it, everyone. I'll have another video up maybe in the next week or so. Thanks.